How different is it preparing for Marquette when you know Kolek's not going to be there? He's obviously a guy you'd game plan around quite a bit, I would think. And he's so unique. How different is it just preparing for them without him?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the things that he does are so unique, and again, a true quarterback, and yeah, I mean, just he's such a unique player. There's no one quite playing that position. The way that he plays that position. And then obviously with him and Iguodala out the last game, it just was strange watching like two of the most unique players not playing in game, and then almost winning the game. Being right there at the under 4 with a chance to win it. But obviously, other they're it's hard to play without obviously the preseason player of the year and as good as he is. But Cam Jones has been on a tear. Joplin is being. Iguodala will be back for us. I got tremendous respect for Ross as a player, and Ben Gold's development there. Something to watch. They're still champions and have one of the best cultures in college sports.
What have you seen from Cam Jones? Like you said, on a tear lately. He was the leading scorer last year for the team, so he's not sneaking up on anybody. But what have you seen from him lately?
He averaged 27 over the last 4 or 5, and I just see a guy who's, just dangerous at all 3 levels. Playing, just being super aggressive, and it's obviously it's going to be a huge challenge. Because of the range and his ability to finish at the rim. He's one of the best rim finishers at the guard spot in the country. He's got the shooting, and watching his reaction at the end of the Creighton game, we know how hungry he's going to be tomorrow night.
Thanks.
You got it.
Go to Gavin.
Hey, Dan, how did your guys respond? You had the championship celebration on Sunday. When you went back to work and practice on Monday, how did they kind of respond? Was it quick to refocus?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to find a way, to finish, this regular season off, with the mindset of going into these games like we haven't won any games. Got to fight off human nature, and obviously when you get to Big East tournament time, there's going to be a different level of urgency. NCAA tournament, win or go home, creates that urgency for you. My last year at Rhodey, we didn't handle things after clinching, very well. So hopefully that experience will come in handy. I think there is a chance right now to go for 18 conference wins, which would be the most ever in the regular season. So there's that. If you need externals, if you're not competitive enough, then there's some externals that you could find also.
And does it help to get their attention that you have 2 tough road games to finish?
I mean, all the games in this league are tough. once you play these two games, everything else is on a neutral court where we've been with the exception of the semifinal loss to Marquette, our neutral site record, which is where everything's going to be played from here on out, is pretty dominant. So it's just a chance to keep getting better, keep creating momentum, and confidence.
Thanks.
Go to Adam.
Yeah, this is Eddie Vedder calling in from Seattle. How are you, Coach?
What's up, bud?
There's a lot of Big East teams on the bubble here in the last week. St. John, Villanova, Providence. How much will you be kind of paying attention to those games, and how much will you be rooting for them to make the tournament? Does an 11-9, 12-8 Big East team deserve to be in over, maybe more of a mid-major or somebody from another league?
Yeah. Obviously, it's better to for all of us, recruiting and in terms of interest in the league, to get more teams in. It's in everyone's best interest. Really just comes down to who you beat, and it starts in a non-conference. It's like the season doesn't start when league play starts. The season starts in the non-conference, because everything that goes on in the non-conference affects everyone else. What we've done in the non-conference, what Marquette's done in the non-conference, what Creighton and Villanova, even though they lost a couple, of the Big Five games, but beating Carolina and Texas Tech and doing what they did strengthens the league. So I know that with relative to how many teams will get in, I think Villanova, Villanova is definitely going to get in. I think Seton Hall, certainly they finished strong, is definitely going to get in. Providence, who we're going to see. I mean, I know we've got Butler. There's a lot of teams I think that are deserving, and it certainly helps when you come in with a great net from non-conference, and you see different coaches complaining in other leagues. The best thing to do to help your league get more teams is, you got to win some games. You got to win some big non-conference games. And you got to. That's the best thing you could do for your league, rather than complain about it. Like, go win some big non-conference games in November and December, and don't complain in February or March about nets and Ken Palms and all this shit.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Coach.
Got it.
We'll go to Joe.
Hey, Dan, obviously you talk about getting ready for the tournament and everything. How much does getting some of the bench guys involved a little bit in these last two games, does it change anything that you won the regular season already? Or, is that something that you're focused on trying to get, fully ready for the tournament?
Listen, we get together, we meet and talk about our team nonstop. And, I think obviously, Jay Stu and Solo, having those guys confident and feeling like they could help us, down the stretch here postseason. It's obviously, something that, we've talked about, and, wanted to get those guys more minutes and, more opportunity. And I think, they practice well. And we're not going to do anything that's going to obviously, hurt our chances of winning the next possession. But also too, getting to 8, getting to 9 down the stretch here with 3, with potentially, if you win the Big East tournament, 3 games in 3 days, you'd love to go, play more, we'd love to be playing deeper than we are right now. I guess we'll see.
Thank you.
Brutal answer. All over the place. Sorry.
We'll go to Roger and then Pat.
Dan, how important is it to carry momentum into the postseason and not just, maintain over the next couple games, but kind of ratchet it up a little bit?
I think you just obviously you practice smart, and at this time of year you're trying to find a balance of keeping your team fresh and getting enough reps where you feel sharp. And you play with a level of desperation in every game to win it. I personally feel like it's important for me to put pressure on the team to win the next game, or to win every game, because we're in that pressure point a year. I think our mindset got to be just, how can we find a way to win this game at Marquette tomorrow? I don't think how we finish this year is necessarily going to affect our play at the Big East tournament or the NCAA tournament, because there becomes a reset after all 3 of these things, or all 2 of these things, end of regular season, Big East tournament. There's kind of a reset and a rebirth there. So, but I just think that it's not okay for us, to not give our best performance. We've had a great year. We know the position we're in, and we want to keep achieving and playing to our identity.
You've also talked a lot this year about how you expected sophomores by the end of the year would be at a different level. Right now, it looks as if Donovan is at that point, and Alex may be struggling to get there, but are you confident that they're both going to be better players as you go forward here?
Yeah, Donovan is obviously found his form and is moving great, and he's finally healthy, and he's in a great position to finish strong. And Alex, I don't know, Alex was a plus 37, the other day in that game. So, Alex played great. He made so many winning plays. He did so many things to have us play at our best when he was on the court. He'll make shots. And then even if he's not making shots, he creates such spacing, and he does so many things to help us win that, obviously the shooting we trust, but he's a great player.
And Donovan playing better, is that you mentioned a few times about how he's moving better, but he also seems to be finishing a little better around the rim and just more in rhythm. Is he gaining momentum as he's going on?
Yeah, I think the ball more. I think we learned that in the Creighton game, that he's got to get touches, whether it's in the ball screen game or post ups or as a facilitator, and then he'll be an even more engaged defensive player and rebounder.
Thank you.
Got it.
Hey, Dan, it's Pat from the AP. Dartmouth players voted to unionize today, and with the changes in NIL and all of this, I just wanted to get your thoughts on players now being treated a little bit more like employees and whether you think that's the future of college basketball.
Yeah, it is the future, and again, I'm not sure. Dartmouth. It's interesting that they were kind of first on this, but yeah, I think it is a situation where there's got to be some. I think a situation relative to NIL and portal, where there are some structures in place. Recruiting a kid out of high school, and you believe he's a 2-year player, or there's got to be some commitment level. I think in two ways. Number one, with a player program in a university, with all the resources that we do invest in them. And then also, too, from a player's standpoint, I think a lot of schools and a lot of, NIL, they've lied to players the last 2 years about opportunities that they would be afforded, and schools haven't come through. So I think that there's definitely, whether it's, contracts, stipulations, there's also a lot of other things. We'll be playing another game, and the Big East has done this to us a bunch this year, where we have 1 day less prep than the people we play. But we'll be getting back at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning, and then we'll have a Saturday game. And then our players will have to be in an 8 a.m. class, which there's obviously, and then the 12 credits or the 9 credit and all the different eligibility rules, while our players are putting in, these players are putting in incredible work days, work weeks for 5-6 months. I think there's so much there that are going to have to be settled if this thing does unionize. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Last one from Amon.
Hi, Dan. Just wanted to ask what you have liked about Samson Johnson's performance over the last 2 games. Seems like he's been a little bit more active on the scoring front and on the glass.
Yeah, sturdier on the backboard, no doubt, and more decisive offensively, putting pressure on the rim and the paint. It opens up so many things for him and for others. He's playing against tomorrow, the kind of the perfect template, whatever that is, for what we would like Samson to be, moving forward, in terms of what Iguodala does as a movement center. Hopefully in the off season, Samson could put on enough physical strength to get as sturdy as Iguodala is, but getting him as a movement center, to really give us, the quality minutes, gives us with the way Donovan's got it going right now, Samson finding his stride and being an impact player right now gives us that no breather at center, the two-headed monster that most teams don't have.